The life of Jacob. Jacob's story begins long before he could walk or speak. Even in the womb, he and his twin brother Esau wrestled with one another. When the time came for their birth, Esau emerged first, red and strong, but Jacob followed right behind, holding on to Esau as heel, a sign of the struggle that would shape their early years. As the boys grew, Esau became a skilled hunter, a man of the outdoors. Jacob preferred quiet places, staying among the tents. Their parents favored them differently. Isaac loved Esau's wild strength, while Rebekah felt a special closeness to Jacob. One day, Esau returned from the fields exhausted and hungry. Jacob was cooking stew, and Esau begged for some. Jacob asked for Esau's birthright in exchange, the honor of being the firstborn. Esau agreed, caring more for the moment than the future, but a blessing that belonged to the firstborn now rested on Jacob. Years later, when Isaac was old and nearly blind, Rebekah helped Jacob receive the blessing meant for Esau. Jacob dressed in Esau's clothes, covered his arms with goatskins, and brought food to his father. Isaac blessed him, speaking words that shaped Jacob's destiny. When Esau discovered what had happened, he burned with anger, and Jacob fled for his life. Jacob traveled far to the land of his relatives. One night, as he slept with a stone for a pillow, he dreamed of a ladder reaching from earth to heaven, with angels ascending and descending. At the top stood God, who promised Jacob land, descendants, and protection. Jacob awoke in awe, and named the place Bethel, house of God. In the land of Haran, Jacob met Rachel at a well, and loved her at once. He worked 7 years to marry her, but on the wedding night, her father Laban deceived him, and gave him Leah instead. Jacob worked 7 more years for Rachel, the love of his life. His family grew, sons and daughters born to Leah, Rachel, and their maidservants. These children would one day become the 12 tribes of Israel. After many years, God told Jacob to return home. On the journey, Jacob learned that Esau was coming to meet him with 400 men. Fearing the worst, Jacob prayed and prepared for the encounter. That night, alone by the river, a mysterious man wrestled with him until dawn. When the man saw Jacob would not let go, he touched Jacob's hip, wounding him, yet Jacob still held on. The man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, for you have struggled with God and with men, and have prevailed." Jacob limped from that moment on, a reminder of the night he met God face to face. To Jacob's surprise, Esau greeted him not with anger, but with open arms. The brothers embraced and wept, their long conflict finally healed. Jacob settled in the land, built altars, and raised his family. But sorrow touched him when Rachel died, giving birth to their youngest son, Benjamin. Jacob set a pillar over her tomb, a memorial of love and loss. As the years passed, Jacob's sons grew, and trouble arose among them. Joseph, the son of Jacob's old age, was his favorite. Jacob gave him a beautiful multicolored robe, and Joseph's dreams of greatness stirred jealousy in his brothers. They sold Joseph into slavery and brought Jacob his torn robe dipped in blood. Believing Joseph dead, Jacob mourned deeply and refused to be comforted. Famine later struck the land, and Jacob sent his sons to Egypt for grain. They returned with astonishing news. A powerful Egyptian ruler who questioned them wanted to see Benjamin. Jacob hesitated, fearing harm to his youngest son, but the famine grew severe, and he finally agreed. When the brothers returned to Egypt, the truth came out. The ruler was Joseph, alive, and now second in command of the entire nation. When Jacob heard this, his spirit revived. God spoke to him in a vision, saying, "Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt. I will make you into a great nation there." Jacob traveled to Egypt with his whole family. Joseph rode out in his chariot to meet him, and when they embraced, Jacob wept for a long time. He said, "Now I can die in peace, for I have seen your face again." In Egypt, Jacob blessed Pharaoh, and lived his final years surrounded by his children and grandchildren. Before his death, he blessed Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, crossing his hands to give the younger the greater blessing. He then gathered all 12 sons and spoke prophetic words over each one, words that shaped the identity of the tribes that would carry his name. Jacob asked to be buried in the land of Canaan, in the cave of his fathers. When he died, Joseph wept over him. Pharaoh granted a royal procession, and Jacob was carried back to the land God had promised him. There, Jacob, Israel, was laid to rest. His story became the bridge between the age of Abraham and Isaac and the rise of a nation that would bear his name forever.